Good morning, welcome back. Monika and I are 2 miles from home and we've got 2.5 hours to drive because we're off to pick up a special bike. It's a Ducati. Slightly different though because usually motorbikes get dropped off, but Ducati will not drop off a motorbike, so it's in essence going to be pretty much a day trip to go and pick it up 2.25 hours away and then all the way back again. What's interesting about this is that I have to pick the bike up from Silverstone circuit. Monika, how exciting is that? Nope. Monika's shaking her head saying, I have no idea what you're talking about. Silverstone circuit is the Formula One circuit.
Oh, okay.
It's the racetrack. So I have no idea if Ducati have either their head office at Silverstone circuit or just their distribution centre at Silverstone. So that's where we're heading. I don't know what to expect, but because it's Silverstone and I don't think I've ever been there, I'll do everything I can to film as much as possible. This video is sponsored by Car Vertical. It's the car history checker. They will scan a huge variety of different car databases, auction databases, crash sites, and sales sites. They work, I think, in around about 35 different countries, and they do a comprehensive check of your vehicle. So, if you're looking to buy a vehicle potentially, and you want to check the mileage, whether it's been crashed, whether it's got any outstanding finance on it, anything regarding its history, Car Vertical is a brilliant first place to check. So if you're looking at a vehicle, you've got your eye on something on Facebook Marketplace or Auto Trader, for example. First thing to do, find either the VIN number or the registration number of the vehicle, and then Car Vertical, you pay the Car Vertical fee, and they will send you, whether you go onto the app, which I usually use, or you can use the website as well, they will then send you a full report of that vehicle. So you can see here, I've got a Harley Davidson Road King that I'm checking. And at the top you can see it's got overview, all of the photos, theft, odometer, financial and legal status, whether it's got any outstanding finance. So you can click anything on the top or just scroll down. So immediately here I can see odometer. There's a yellow warning sign. Click on that and I can see that it's spiked within the time of about a year, from about 3,000 to about 60,000. So I think that's just an anomaly. I'll ignore that. But what's more worrying are the pictures. I can see at some point in this vehicle's life it's been involved in a serious amount of, well, what looks like flood damage, which looks like a complete write-off. So that is huge alarm bells. I carry on flicking through, last known mileage, absolutely fine. Financial and legal status, doesn't look like there is anything flagging up there. Damage records, it's had damage but it's unknown, and I can see the damage was in the USA. So I know that very probably this vehicle was imported. If I then go to the timeline here, I can see that in 2018 the vehicle was manufactured, but the country was unknown. But I scroll down a bit more and I can see in 2020, June, damage detected in the US. Show more and you can see that shortly after that it was sent over to the UK, potentially as a damaged vehicle. It then spent an extra year or two in the UK changing hands until finally, in 2023 it had an MOT. So, what you can do armed with that knowledge, you can decide, are you happy to buy a damaged vehicle? And at the very least, don't make the same mistake I did. So if you do these searches beforehand, you can make sure that you don't get ripped off. You're not buying and paying market price for a vehicle that's actually been written off at some point in its life. So if you're curious, you've got a vehicle to check, you can click on a link in the written description, or you can use code DOBS for 10% off your car or motorbike check. 20 minutes to go. And I think I'm equally as excited about picking this Ducati up as I am about seeing Silverstone. And Ducati's setup there, have no idea what it's going to be like. Every biking brand works slightly differently with their press fleets. For example, if you go with the likes of Triumph, Harley Davidson, Royal Enfield, pretty much without question, they will drop off a bike wherever you are in the country and pick it up whenever you wish. Moto Guzzi is on the other end of the spectrum. I don't even know if Moto Guzzi have a press fleet, because the amount of times I've contacted them asking for a V7 or a V85 to test from their press fleet, and they haven't replied to me. So I don't know if Moto Guzzi have any kind of genuine base in the UK to be able to distribute a press fleet of bikes. And then there's Ducati. Ducati are probably somewhere in the middle. You can't get a bike picked up or dropped off for you. You have to go and pick it up from specifically here in Silverstone. And also, because I think in the past, Ducati may well have had a lot of people, possibly like me, doing YouTube channels or having a YouTube channel and doing reviews and then damaging or crashing the bikes, they now request a small, or maybe not so small, but they now request a holding deposit just to confirm that you won't completely smash up the bike. So did you get it?
Yes.
Well done. And it's lucky I brought my credit card with me, because I was only checking this out while having a coffee. So I may have to warm up my credit card for a few funds to be released until I drop off the bike again in 2 weeks' time. Too interesting. I have to at least show you a bit of this, because we're in the Silverstone area now, and what you'll have here in all of these little buildings are performance engineering companies often associated with Silverstone racing. I mean, look here, that's, I don't know what that is, but a beautiful classic car being worked on. And then to the left, Monika, look at this Ford GT. I'll try and do a running commentary as we go past. You've got a Ford GT there, you've got a stunning Mercedes, Porsche, what's that, Porsche Turbo, another Porsche being worked on with a yellow Porsche inside there.
Where?
Just behind that white Ford GT. I don't know if it's possible to zoom in and see that, but beautiful. And have a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Ferraris. Wow. Look at those, absolutely beautiful. So that will be, oh, there you go, Independent Ferrari Specialist, Unit 33 Silverstone. We continue around. Oh, look at that. Lamborghinis in there being worked on.
Beautiful.
Wow, wow. And then here, can we see anything? Motorbikes. In fact, oh, that, I think that's number 18. But ours will look a little bit like that for Ducati. I'll just go around to the end, see if there's anything else, and then we'll go to Unit 7. But my guess is 90% of people here working away will be just about the biggest petrol. That's lucky. Ducati!
Where?
Just here. I just saw the sign.
Oh.
I wasn't even planning. I thought I was going to have to turn around. Everyone here will be a petrol head. The biggest petrol heads in the UK. And here it is. Ducati. Who would have guessed it? Silverstone Circuit. Wow.
Maybe that's yours, huh?
No. I don't know where mine are. I can't see any scramblers. I'll go inside and ask. It's just the worst possible timing. Second I get into Ducati, the tax man calls up. So I have to pick up the phone, I have to. And then I say, this is HMRC, Freddie. I'm like, oh, please, can you call back, please, in maybe 2 hours or so. And they say, we can't really guarantee that, Freddie. So I'm having a very awkward conversation with the tax man while trying to be shown the Ducati. So hopefully I won't go to jail for anything. I don't know what's going on. But we can forget about all of that now. It's Friday and there's a new motorbike. The Ducati Scrambler Icon. This is I believe, the base model of the 3 Ducati Scrambler 800. So it's an 800cc. This is £10,000. They do 2 slightly more expensive ones at about £11,000. 185 kilos wet weight, so that is with the liquids in it, and it is an 800cc and it has 73 horsepower. It's the dimensions that initially for me are quite interesting, because this is in essence the same engine size as the Bonneville, yet the bike is around about probably 35 to 40 kilos lighter, and it's tiny. What do you think, Monika? It looks small, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does look very small actually.
Small, compact, light, chuckable, but quite comfy because the handlebars are high up. So I've got a 2.5 hour ride back, and it feels like a very pleasant place to be. I'll show you one thing. Instead of doing a full walk around, I'll just show you one more thing, and then I'll soak it in for the next week or so. Look at that display. That's the most modern display, I think, I've come across on any bike that I've tested. So this definitely is not, at least what I can see here, a stripped back traditional retro. This is very much a neo retro bike. Well, I better head off because Friday traffic's coming. Not that it will bother me, but Monika's got to drive back. So I'll give you a few updates on the ride back, give a first impression at the end of the ride. But it looks like a lovely, well screwed together bike with a nice little off-road bias there with the tyres, very light, chuckable. And one more thing, Monika, just have a look at this. I think that's a nice design. The cross in the headlamp. A nod to those old, I think they used to put leather across it. Although I have literally no idea why, but I just know it's an old school nod. So I'll head off. Ducati Scrambler, Icon. That's it, I need to learn the range better. Welcome, Ducati Scrambler Icon. 30 minutes to go. I've been riding for about 2 hours and I've stopped, I'll be honest, more so out of necessity than a desire for a coffee, because I lost all feeling to my legs. All of my bottom half, just pins and needles searing through it. Didn't matter how much I changed position, nothing could get me into a comfortable position, so I had to desperately pull off as fast as possible. So long distance machine, no. This is not a comfortable long distance machine. Honestly, hand on heart, I wouldn't have been able to do the Wales trip on this bike. And I certainly wouldn't have been able to do the Scottish trip on this bike. It's just not set up for long distance comfort at all. But on the plus side, on the flip side, its tiny proportions and its really low weight mean that it is incredible dynamically. Almost too good. I found myself within a tiny amount of time pushing the bike like I'd owned it for 3 years or so, with that level of knowledge and experience that usually you can only build up over time. I was flying along, whizzing in between cars on the motorway. And I was going on the M25, 4 cars ahead of me, and one car slammed on its brakes, so close to a rear end shunt about 4 cars ahead, and every single car in turn slammed on its brakes and every car's wheels screeched. I managed to brake in time with no screeching, no tyre locking at all, completely calm, completely composed, all because of the beautiful dynamics and the stability of the bike. And I look into my rear view mirror, or I look into my mirror, and behind me, the car behind skidding towards me at about 40 miles an hour. Luckily he stopped, I think about half a metre behind me. But dynamically speaking, that's a good test for the little Scrambler. It's excellent in that regard. Actually, I was about to turn off the camera. I'll give a little update. Life on the road. Subway sandwich just to keep me going because it's about, I think, 4:30 or so and I'm starving. And behind me is Suffolk's Friday afternoon traffic. I don't know why, I always think I know directions home without sat-nav. Just before we headed off, Monika said, just put the QUADLOCK adapter on the handlebar mount, just in case you get lost. I said, no, Monika, please, please, I've been to this part of England many, many times before. I know my way back. And of course, I got lost. And a journey that should have taken 2 hours, 20 minutes took me 4 hours. On the positive side, I got to test out the Scrambler even more than I thought I would, and the weather was glorious the whole way. So I'll wrap it up there. I think I'll do the review video in a couple of videos' time, so look out for that. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.